The music industry today is remembering the life of Linkin Park lead singer Chester Bennington. He was 41 years old and the artist was found dead in his Los Angeles home yesterday. Authorities are investigating his death as an apparent suicide.
Bennington is survived by his wife and 6 children. And this comes only months after Soundgarden's Chris Cornell, a close friend of Bennington's, committed suicide. Fans and friends of the singer have been filling the internet with tributes. His bandmate, Mike Shinoda, was one of the first to tweet, saying shocked and heartbroken, but it's true.
We, of course, want them to know, and everyone who knew and loved Chester, that they are in our thoughts and our prayers today.
My name is Matthew, and I'm one of the millions of people whose lives was affected by the passing of Chester Bennington. The man I wanted to be for so long. The lyrics that got me through my hardest times was gone, and I didn't know why. No one did. The thought of choosing to leave this world was one that had never crossed my mind. But after Chester made that decision, I started to think, was this actually the best solution? I couldn't sleep at night. I would stay awake listening to the music, the interviews. I literally drove myself crazy. The more I thought about it, the more it actually started to make sense. I started looking for answers and solutions, but what helped me the most was talking to others that was going through the same thing that I was, who had the same thoughts. The LP family. That's when I realized I wasn't alone in this at all. An idea then came to me. Others needed to hear the struggles and the mindset that others were having as well. I decided to make a documentary, not about Linkin Park, not even about Chester, but about the fans who needed to hear that they were not alone in this. This is the story about 5 of the most amazing people I know who have been brave enough to share their stories to the world.
I was driving in my car to work.
I was at home.
I just started working at a new job.
Totally disbelief. I was at work.
I was actually at work when it happened. My business partner texted me and I was like, can you double check that? I don't believe that's probably bullshit. I thought that's a hoax, whatever.
All I read was Chester's gone. And I was like, what?
Checking the website, a news website, and then I read it and I was like, no way.
I went through like all 5 stages of grief in like a millisecond. The first thing I thought was like, this has to be a hoax.
I had a bunch of missed calls, a bunch of texts saying this thing happened. And I thought, no way, it sounds too soon. It sounds like maybe they swapped names with Chris Cornell or something.
That day was already really hard for me because that's the death anniversary for my dad. Just hearing that the person that I looked up to get me out of that situation that I did with my dad just was gone.
And I was like, this can't be real. I was like in denial at that stage, I think.
I was just in so disbelief that this happened.
I just had it blacked out. I was like, the real news will come out soon. This is fucked up. This is, not what actually happened.
My mind immediately went to a place of like, oh, what did I do? You know what I mean? Like you sort of just internalize it. That's where my head was at. I was like, I wasn't nice enough as a fan. We weren't good enough to him.
It just brought me back to that time when I lost my dad. And I had that same feeling. I was like, not another one. Like, I can't lose another one.
I got out of my car and I screamed like I've never heard myself scream.
And then it kicked in, all of a sudden. And then I was like, oh my God, this is fucked up.
And my knees were really weak and I couldn't get up for about 2 hours.
You read about the date that he did it and how it was Chris Cornell's birthday. It's complicated. There's a lot of different factors that go into not only mourning a celebrity, but mourning someone who's committed suicide because they died at their own hand. So you sort of also have that anger and resentment that they did it too.
Their music is definitely what got me out of it. Every time I would feel the pain and just hurting, I would just scream out Chester's lyrics and it would feel better, as it always did.
I couldn't work. I felt really sick. I couldn't really speak to a lot of people, especially to people that didn't understand me.
I didn't know what like emotions to feel. I just felt empty for a really long time.
It's a huge mix of emotions. You go to this place where you're like, should I even be this affected by this?
I did not work. I was not really able to work, so I browsed the internet trying to find a reason maybe for how or why he did that and how he could do it. Like, yeah.
I had a rough night, like on Thursday night. I got really drunk and pissed off a couple of my friends because I was all over the place emotionally. Like, do I believe this? I don't know. It can't be true. And if it is, then I was like going to really dark places.
It felt like we were all sort of thrown into this macro grieving process together. Immediately made me feel like I'm not, alone in this grieving process at all. This is large scale grief.
I think I listened to it right away because I always listen to Linkin Park. I need that music. It's my favorite band. It's like a juice for my life. I need that music. I can talk about all this stuff.
Afterwards, I listened to like all of their music and I'm just like, we saw the signs, but we were just blind towards it. It's crazy.
I had difficulty listening to just music in general because my favorite singer's story is over. And that was too painful. I couldn't turn on the radio. I couldn't get into listening to some new artist because, Chester was gone.
After he died, I didn't know One More Light, the album, too well because it was pretty new. And I didn't listen to it because I felt like this is going to be the last new Linkin Park with Chester on it that will ever exist. And I kind of saved it. It was really like December that I decided to listen to that album like really closely and just take it in as like, okay, this is the last one. So I almost shut that album out of my mind after he passed for a while to save that new stuff to like be the last new thing that I'll hear.
I attended one in Berlin, my hometown. It was held at the venue that they played shortly before.
I helped organize and perform in the LA Memorial, and I performed at the Las Vegas Memorial.
Ryan Schuck, Chester is one of his best friends, put on this amazing memorial in Las Vegas at the Club Tattoo.
I went to the one that ended up at Grand Park in Los Angeles. It was originally just like 20 people who were gonna, show up at Guitar Center.
At first I was really scared going there, and I told my friend who, I kind of asked her to come with me, but she felt really weird about it because she did not understand.
And he read the eulogy, and that helped me feel better. What he said was so wonderful and so inspiring and comforting, and said, Chester would want you to, for him to make him proud, as I say, make Chester proud.
And there was only a couple hundred people signed up, and I emailed the organizers or sent a Facebook message to organizers about it and said, anything I can do, I just knew I need to be involved somehow.
And it exploded. It exploded into this huge event.
And then it was like 500 people, then 1,000. Then suddenly there were like 3,000 going, 3,000 interested in this event. And we're like, shit. And so we had to find new locations.
I just walked by and just looking at all the pictures and candles and people crying, but I did not stay long.
And we were just talking, and it was, we were reminiscing about the shows we had been to.
While all this was happening, it was keeping my mind busy. I wasn't really like grieving or mourning. It was just like, I had this mission. Okay, on August 6th, there's this memorial that has to happen, and I'm a part of it.
Thank you, Ryan. You're wonderful. And you did well, you did amazing, and thank you very much. It helped me and helped a lot of people, I think, what you said. And reading that eulogy was mind-blowing. You are wonderful.
Now that the album kind of grew with all the, with all the stuff that happened, now they're like different. They're different to me now.
The song like Given Up, for example, when that came out, I didn't think of it as him really feeling like he was actually going to go through with it. I thought he was taking it there in the music as a form of catharsis. Now that he's actually followed through with it, it completely redefined the message of that song.
I don't know, I just need this music. I don't know. I can't look at his face too long. That's what I can't do. I can't listen to the music, and I need the music. And I mean, the lyrics are shocking a lot of times now.
Sometimes when you feel blue, you want to like just really feel it. So I'll watch like live of like Given Up, like just to see Chester transform into this thing and screaming about how he hurts.
It just depends like what mood I'm in, because a lot of the times like I'm like, I need my voice to like rock out to, like if I'm in traffic or anything, I'm just like belting out Chester's tones and all that stuff. But then like sometimes when like I'm feeling emotional or anything, it just like hits me tenfold.
I don't want to think about the lyrics. I don't want to think about it too much. I just want it to lift me up like it always has.
We have to make sure that his act doesn't totally take away the original meaning of the music, because the original meaning of the music I still think is pure, and I think we have to, keep it that way.
I love speaking to that there are other people like me, and I'm very happy that they're out there and that I've met them and that they understand. And so the LP family worldwide is amazing and important, and they all feel the same way.
Yeah, the Linkin Park family is amazing. And I've only had a few friends growing up, or well, before this happened, that I really knew that were hardcore Linkin Park fans. And because of these communities that come together on Facebook, I've made a lot more friends. My friend group's completely switched actually since July. I have a lot of really close, really hardcore Linkin Park fans.
We all share the same thoughts, so it might be easier talking to LP fans or the LP family than to other people, because they get you. They just get you.
From very early on, I think both the band and the fan base were exceptionally savvy with using the internet as a tool to connect, like way before social media took off.
Without this community, I think I would be lost. When I was down, they brought me right back up, because I just said, hey, I need help. I'm feeling this way. Like, please, like I need some kind of words or some kind of encouragement to bring me up. And they were right there.
Someone will post something like, hey, I'm having a really hard time today. I'm going through it right now. And you'll just see this like flooding of support and positivity and people just helping this person out and lifting them back up.
Some people like go through it differently, but we still understand each other, so we can lift each other up on any kind of level.
As tragic as what happened was, it re-emphasized how amazing not only the band is, but how amazing the fans are as a community.
They were able to create a new genre of music basically and just go with it and really push it and really make it the biggest band in the world for many years. And anyone now who's not born yet or is young is going to be able to just have the whole snapshot of this is everything that Chester Bennington did and how he changed music, and you can study it now, which sucks. I wish it was not. I wish it wasn't like that.
He's inspired a whole generation of vocalists.
They gave people a place to be like, hey, I'm going through this, so are they. We're all human, and we can go through this together.
Is amazing music.
His words, he sung them with like so many feelings, with so much heart, and I am very glad that this is all out there for the other generations to come.
Chester's legacy is epic, and it's a positive one too, I think.
It just goes to show you how amazing Chester was and what kind of community that he brought together.
they're not alone. Like, we're all in this together. Of course, like, I'm there for whoever needs help. I just wish that everybody who is a part of LP or the LP family is moving on. The band members, like the families around them, like seeing them moving on is healing for me too.
You're not alone. We're all in this together. We all have the same passion and the same love for this music. This is the music that has brought us together time and time again, and it can continue to do that. I think at an even more elevated level.
Talk to each other, grow the LP family, or like, just get inspired, inspire each other, be there for each other. That's, I think, is something, an outlet to make one feel better.
I thought I was just going crazy. Like, I had these like moments where, like, I don't know, it's like hard to breathe, or like it's just like I felt like this weird feeling, and I never knew what it was. But after that show, it dawned on me, and I was like, oh, I have anxiety, and it's okay, because we're human at the end of the day, and we need to ask for help. And we're all a family, we're a community, and we all need to get together and be there for each other and never be afraid to ask for anything, because that's what family does.
Yeah, people that are really hurt by this are not alone. I feel the same way. I didn't know him. I think Mike's done a great job of letting people know that they're not alone. When people's music and personality and everything, somebody maybe you idolize or admire, they can be closer to you than a family member. My grandfather passed away a couple years before Chester did, and a couple months, before Chester did. And like, I barely remember even caring too much about that, which sounds awful, but that was just a grandfather I didn't know too well, but he was a blood relative of mine. But it was like overshadowed by this, this singer, which sounds ridiculous, but it's true. It really hits home because you let that person in, whoever you have to be vulnerable to really love something or someone and really let them in. And people do that with music especially, and I did it with music and with Chester's music and voice. And then when that person or that thing goes away, it's just rips your heart out. You've got
We do.
Mama always told me, don't you run with scissors, son. You're gonna hurt someone.
We love you, Chester.
We love you.
We love you, Chester.
We love you, Chester.
We love you, Chester.
Always think before you speak. And